And hello, Terry Brock here, and welcome to a wonderful live stream that we're doing today on this Saturday, the 28th of November. And today, this is one of the most exciting, I think, the best Saturday of the entire year. Because here in the United States, it's during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this year, we're going to be taking Monday, too, a little bit, so you'll learn why in just a moment. But I wanted to welcome you here, and today, I'm going to talk particularly about podcasting and the benefits that you can get from that and how it can really help you in many different ways. And I'm also learning and growing here. I'm using the wonderful tools that I've been playing with for a little while now and really getting to enjoy it more and more all the time when I see what's available. I'm using a little tool called Restream. And Restream is a sponsor of this program, and they are really, really good for getting your message out live on several different platforms at the same time. Something I really like, because right now, for instance, as I'm broadcasting, this is going to Facebook groups, a couple of them. It's also going to YouTube. And matter of fact, I'm over here and monitoring this. I've never done this before, so I've got my little computer here. Let me just show you right behind the scenes and everything. Got my other computer right here, and I've got it sitting right there. And what I want to do is I want to monitor what's going on. There's a little bit of a delay between when you do it and when it goes live. And this is a great way to learn about, okay, what's going on, how it's working, how everything is there. Whoops. And you can hear me now, a little bit of the delay there, right? So we can turn that down. So you're getting two Terrys in one. Here, I'm showing you inside baseball stuff. There it is, right there. There's me. And I'm looking at it, and there's a little bit of a delay of a few seconds because I picked that up. So when I watch this, you're going to see me pick it up there in the there it is, and that's going out like that. So I'm showing you behind the scenes, getting real to do. And you can do this too. It's a real good thing I'd suggest look into, particularly if you're an entrepreneur, or as I like to say, an agorapreneur, an entrepreneur who believes in freedom and liberty, a liberty lover who is an entrepreneur. Look into this. I've got an arrangement with them, bit.ly. You type Restream for you, the number 4, Restream for you. Notice I'm over here on the side. And you get $10 in credit. And I'll get a few credits myself, too. The credit toward using Restream. So it's a nice deal. And by the way, I got to share something with you. It happened just today. Here it is. This is something that happened. I was uploading some things onto Restream, getting ready for this particular podcast, and working with it. What I'm doing here is going out to the different channels. And an error happened. Couldn't upload a particular graphic. I don't know why, just didn't do it. But they came out and they said this. Restream.studio.io says, oops, failed to upload the overlay. We've got the report and already fixing it. Isn't that nice? I have not seen that from any company before. Like when something goes wrong, and they do, hey, when you're working with technology, stuff goes wrong, okay? Stuff happens. But to have that programmed in there, to think it through, to say, hey, we know something is wrong. We're on it right now. Don't worry about it. Think about how you can and should do that in your business. How can you automate it? Helps me to think, hey, things that go wrong when I'm doing podcast or when I can't be somewhere, when we get back to traveling around a little bit more and I can't be somewhere, what kind of procedures can I put into place? So I want you to think about that and think about what can we do to make sure that people are feeling much better, that people are saying, hey, I want to be there and I want to make sure that what I'm doing is taken care of and that we're safe. And so we want to make sure that that is working really, really well when we're doing it. And I'm putting those together. I think there's a lot of benefits to having your systems in place and preparing for that. But today what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about podcasting and what's going on from a couple of different points of view. And this relates to you if you say, well, I'm not doing a podcast. Well, not yet. You might later. And if you're not, it's one of those things that I think now everyone should listen to some podcasts. Find some podcasts that suit your needs, either for entertainment or I tend to lean toward more education. And what's going to help you really learn. And education can be entertaining. Just listen to some of the great podcasts that are out there. I'm dropping my jaw at what's available. I've been listening to podcasts since they came out, when they started those things, because it came from the iPod, and they called it a podcast. That's where it came from. And so the idea on that, I was listening to them, and they were good back then. But wow. people have taken a leap forward on it today. As a matter of fact, I'm so much into it, I've kind of relaunched mine and doing my own podcast and doing a lot of things here. Let me see, I'm looking up my scene here. Oh, I thought I had that there on where it is. But I want to show you something that's happening right now. Many of you I know are in the National Speakers Association, and over here in the NSA Podcasters site, there's a group now that you want to get involved with on this about podcasting. So if you're a member of the National Speakers Association, yes, you can be involved in that. And it's also open up, I understand, from Jeff Hazlett, who's going to be pioneering that and leading us forward with it, that we will open it up in a limited way to people who are not members of NSA, just so that they get a chance to be exposed to podcasting ideas, see it from a speaker's point of view. We're constantly creating content, and this way they'll be able to grow. So go over to NSA Podcasters, and you'll be able to see that. You can see about joining the group and get in there. Love to have you do that. I think it's a really good thing what you can do with that. And by the way, I have to put a plug in here for my podcast that I'm doing. I'll share a little bit more about that in a moment, but here, write that down. bit.ly/GetAgoraPreneurs. Notice the G and the A are capitalized. So this is a great way to learn, to grow, and to make sure that you're getting the kind of information that you want and get those in a really, really good way, in a way that helps you a lot. Because a podcast, I find, really helps to grow. Now here I'm going to focus on the side of you learning about podcasting, using it yourself as a consumer. That'd be the first thing we want to do. I highly recommend you do that. I've got two phones. Many of you know that follow me. I've got Android, my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and by the way, just ordered the Note 20 Ultra. So I'm waiting for it to come in. They said it should be leaving on the 2nd of December and within a week or so. Well, that's way too long for me. But that's all right. I do want to get it, and I want to make sure that I'm seeing it and I'm watching what's going on and using the new tools, and also use my iPhone. I like them both. So I do use them both. But I would encourage you to get into a podcasting, because here, and by the way, notice my fancy schmancy graphics again here. Write these down. I love just doing a mind map on this. As much as we do a lot with technology and electronics, I still love paper and pen for some activities. I find it's usually good to get things started and move in that direction. But right now, I would encourage you that you use it for a lot of learning, that when you've got that scrap time when you're driving in the car, or time you're getting breakfast ready, you're making a meal, or cleaning up around your place, or doing something, taking a walk, a good thing is to saturate your mind with really good quality podcasts. And matter of fact, I would love to hear from you, whatever platform you're getting this on. Remember, using Restream, we get a lot of different platforms there. And just leave a note there what you're using, what kind of podcasts you're using on a regular basis. You tie into them, you subscribe to them. I have a number of them that I'm listening to. Been listening to one called Flowchart and Hustle, or Hustle and Flowchart. Hustle and Flowchart, real good, with Rob Fear and with Matt Welch, or Wolf, excuse me, Matt Wolf. And if you guys are listening, sorry about that. But really good podcast with great information that I find each time I'm taking notes on it, and they're giving lots of references. So a very good one. Another one I like is Conversations with Tyler Cowan. He is just a brilliant economist over there at George Mason University, and he interviews people that usually I haven't heard of, but I know they are always off the chart good to teach one thing, how to interview right. Tyler does a fabulous job of this. Now, he's a professor of economics there at George Mason, so he's really smart. You'd expect that, but it's like he's taken it even to another level. The kind of questions, the kind of research you can tell he's done helps me as a podcaster, as a communicator myself, to start doing more of that. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. It's called Conversations with Tyler, and that's another good one. There's several others that are out. Of course, there's hundreds and probably thousands and thousands. I don't even know how many. I think there's a few 100,000 podcasts out there, but I'm listening to them all the time. So I'd encourage you to do it, and there's a reason it's successful. It relates to the human voice. We've known for a long time in radio that people often feel very close to the radio announcer, even when they don't see that radio announcer, which is usually, and that definitely was the way it was when I was in radio years ago. I was a junior in high school and started doing radio at WUFN 96.7 on your FM dial from Albion, Michigan, or WUNN 1110 on your AM dial from Mason, Michigan. The voice of the Family Life Broadcasting System. I still remember that today. I do. And it was a great thing. I really appreciate them giving me a chance to get out there. And by the way, as a junior in high school, I made so many errors. I mean, and I remember I do the news, and I did a lot of other things there, but also in the news. And after every newscast, my dear manager, Alan Cook, and I still love him today, he's a wonderful guy, he would call me up and say, Terry, here's what you did right, and here's what you need to improve, et cetera. And I remember one time I said the name of the city in Michigan where I grew up and where we were there in Michigan, and I mispronounced the name just horribly. Well, he called right away, and I'm glad he did. He said, Terry, what's the name of that city? And I mispronounced it. And he said, Terry, the way you say it is, and then he told me correctly. Do you know how many people are listening that know you just made a colossal error? And I thought, oh man, that's terrible. He said, Terry, if you got a question on that, you call me. You let me know. And I thought, this guy was great because he was firm. Yeah, this is serious. You're on radio and you need to do it right. But he also was there to let me know in the future he's there to help. If you got any questions, don't hesitate or call somebody and ask. And I thought, yeah, that's good. So that taught me at an early age to do that. And you see, what happens is when you're working in radio, you do get to know the people and they get to know you in a perceived, anyway, intimate way. So I would encourage you to get those podcasts going. That's going to be good to bring your audience in for you. Also portable. Hey, you pick it up, listen to it with your earbuds, and I like taking my Samsung Note 10 Plus and pop in my Galaxy earbuds and just bounce around. It's really, really nice. It's like heaven on earth, and I can listen to great people. And then, by the way, also, I always adjust the speed, so I can listen to it a little bit faster, depending on the conversation, how fast they talk. I find sometimes I have to slow it down a little bit, not at full throttle 2x or 2.5x when someone is from, say, Australia or the UK or another country, because there might be some accents that make it a little bit more difficult. But I find that's real nice. Another thing nice about you using podcasts, the multitasking. You can do a lot of different things. I usually am doing it while I'm making breakfast or while I'm doing lunch, putting that together. It's really nice to be able to listen to a podcast, feed your mind with some good, and at the same time, you can get a lot of other good things done too, as well. And working from an outline is something I recommend, which is what I'm doing here. Notice this is nothing like super fancy and stiff and all that. A podcast tends to be, most podcasts, I should say, tend to be a little more informal. And yet there are those that are very formal, and that's their format that they do. That's fine, too. There's a place for all of that. So I would encourage you to look at it and think about how you can do that. And again, something like what we're doing with, we see with NSA and the NSA and podcasters, a group like this could be really, really good and can help you in many different ways for that. They've got some events coming up. So if you are a National Speakers Association member, I would encourage you to bounce over there, take a peek at that, and see what's available for it. So those are some of the things that I want to talk with you about. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think and comments that you might have on where these are. Matter of fact, I'm looking at one thing right here now. I'm looking at eCam on this, and I'm trying to get the interview beta on or off, and I want the calls here. I think I'm hitting the wrong button. You do have to hit the right button on these things for it to work just right. And so I'm going to click on this, and there we go. Oh, we got it. Well, hello there. I'm seeing now it's coming up on the screen, and I see we got Bob Pick. Hello there, Bob. You wonderful guy. He's a periodontist out there, and we got a little bit of information there. They're putting it in blue, though. That's not real good. I'd like to make that a little bit bigger because, gee, Bob, we want to see what you got to say. But Bob is a periodontist over in the Chicago area, and he's just one incredibly wonderful guy. And by the way, we're having some birds come by right here saying hello. I love it. Hi there, guys. The birds are out there playing and having fun. Matter of fact, you know what I can do right now? Because I'm using eCam, I'm going to kick over here on that. There they go. You see, there he went. That's the outside. I'm looking out over the ledge. That's what Orlando, Florida looks like right now. You can see as I'm looking out over the lake and seeing what's there. But Bob, we really appreciate you. Let me switch back over to my other camera here. So we'll be there. Appreciate you and what you're doing, sir. And thanks for being here with us. It's nice to have you here. And I know you do a lot. I think, Bob, you are doing a podcast as well as a dentist who helps a lot of people in, as Paul Goodman says, Dr. Paul Goodman, dentisting. He's with Dental Nachos, one of my clients, and love working with him too. Sending out cheers to everyone on the Dental Nachos team there. So I encourage you, think about podcasting, to consume it and then to start using it as well. Sending a message out. I'm doing that right now. Matter of fact, you know what I have to do? Let me show you. I was going to do this anyway. Let me show you over here. I'm going to slip over here and then go over to this. I'm using Libsyn. And now they are a place that handles how you can put it together and how you can put your podcast together. Excuse me. Got something in my throat there. I really love Libsyn. I don't just like it. I love it. It is a joy putting it together, making sure that it's working really well and that it's coming together in the right way. And our podcast is Agorapreneurs. And yes, we do have room for you to subscribe to Agorapreneurs. So you can go over there. If you go over to Agorapreneurs and just get Agorapreneurs, you'll be able to do that. It's a bit.ly link that we have. Well, where did I put that now? See, I had that standing by, and now it just seems to have run off and gone away. Well, that's not very cool, Terry. You should have been prepared for that. Yeah, I know. I thought I had it, and it was there, and then we got it messed up. Well, anyway, I'm going to put it, let me put it on the screen here so you can see it. What I'll do is go in here, and we're in this right here. I'm going to come in, and that's a nice thing that we can do here when we're working with Ecamm. Ecamm gives us the ability to get a lot of different things done, so that I can put in here, it's going to be bit.ly/get Agorapreneurs. And there we are. Now we got it right there. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. See how we can do this with Ecamm. There it is. Write that one down. Get Agorapreneurs. And that'll give you a chance to take a look at what we're doing, or actually listen to what we're doing, and working with that. That would be really good. I'll put that up here for right now. And we got a word here from Emmanuel. Emmanuel Obad saying, hi, Terry. Hello there. I hope you're doing well, sir. And glad to have you with us today. Glad that you can join us from wherever you're coming from out there. And we've got people joining us from many places all over. And that's the nice thing about using what we've got here with Restream. Restream lets us go out to many different areas all around to see what's available, who's out there, and who's going to be watching us, and be able to play with that. So anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Please leave a comment below at wherever you're getting this, or go over to Agorapreneurs. You can get over to the site that we have and be able to take a look at that on our podcast, or you can bounce over to other areas where we have it with Agorapreneurs. The idea of entrepreneurs who are living life freely as liberty lovers, not initiating force or coercion, but living life voluntarily with others. Hey, thanks for being with me today. I'm Terry Brock, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.